Okay, perfect. So, we know you from season 6 of The Voice, but who was Kat Perkins before The Voice?
Um, Before The Voice, let's see, I'd been living in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where I still live currently, for several years, and I had done a lot of work in the theater out here. I did some theater work when I first moved here several years ago. And then I had a band called Scarlet Haze, and we were a rock band, and we had like 3 albums that we had out, and we had toured with a lot of that music. And I had sort of a break from touring, and I became a nanny full time and was sort of just doing my music on the hobby side of things. And so, I'd been working hard for several years in Minneapolis.
Okay, sounds good. So what did you, when you found out that you had been invited to participate on The Voice, what was your first thought?
My first thought was, no, I'm not doing this. I'm too scared. I had never really had an aspiration to be on a reality show or be on TV. I was a huge fan of The Voice, especially being a nanny. The kids and I watched the show a lot of Mondays and Tuesdays, and I loved watching the talent that would come across that show. But yeah, my first reaction was just like, I'm too scared, and I don't know if I can do this, and I don't know. And it was actually the 5-year-old girl that I nannied. She was 5 at the time, and she was home with me, and she looked up at me and she said, "But Kat, why wouldn't you?" So I thought, you're right. There's no answer to that. Why wouldn't I?
Sounds good. And you turned 3 chairs out of 4, but you ultimately chose Adam, okay? Why Adam? Why not maybe Shakira that could have taught you some Spanish along the way?
All right. So they try to prep you for every single scenario about chairs turning, and if multiple chairs turn, they said, try to listen to them and see what they're telling you, and try to go with your gut with the best decision that you think, the coach that is the coach that is perfect for you, or that can take you the farthest. And they said if all else fails and you're sort of out of your mind and you're too excited, then just try to remember who turned first for you, and try to go with that answer. So they had some great standpoints, and Shakira had a great ploy for me, and of course woman power. I love that kind of stuff. But in the end, Adam not only turned first, which I did remember.
Okay. And what was the most significant piece of advice he gave you?
I think, looking back on it now, I think he was really important in instilling a sense of confidence in me. He kind of taught me how to use my voice like an instrument. He's very into his instruments. He plays drums, he plays guitar, he writes music, he plays piano. So he was always trying to tell me how to use my voice dynamically, especially as a rocker. Like he, dabbles in as well. But I think the most important thing that he ever instilled in me was the confidence, and every day just saying, you're doing the right thing. I love your voice, just keep pushing forward with your creativity and use your artistry. And he's still very supportive to this day. So I do respect everything he always has to say to me.
Sure, he is very talented and very hot as well, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so 3 months after your elimination, you released Fearless, which I find to be a very powerful song. Okay, and that has become kind of a movement. And tell us a little bit about that. How did Fearless come about?
Well, I really wanted to just sort of find my first single to be something that had a message. I wanted to just forget about genre in this sense and just have something that encapsulated my entire experience on The Voice, and that could possibly inspire somebody from age 5 to 85 to try something new and step out of their comfort zone, kind of like I did on The Voice. And so we reached out to the songwriters. Their names are Dana Lowry and Heather Hawley, and they wrote this beautiful song. Sorry. This beautiful song, Fearless, that just really hit the nail on the head. I mean, they really, really captured everything I wanted to say and the message that I wanted to put out there, and a message that I could really go out there and inspire people with.
Yeah. I mean, the line that struck me the most is, what would you do if you weren't afraid? Like, is that a question that you asked yourself a lot during the show?
I mean, it was something that the question became very, very prominent after The Voice, because like I told you, my first instinct about taking that opportunity was, I'm too afraid and I'm too scared. And I think that question, that first line of the song just really hit me right away about what would you do if you weren't afraid? I mean, what would you do? Because most people would take a lot of chances and would do a lot of different things that they may never do with fear standing in the way, and just some of the chances that maybe hinder their lives and maybe don't let them live it to their fullest. So I think it's a perfect lyric to that song.
Yeah. Okay, so last Friday you released your very first full-length album, Drive, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about why Drive.
So when it came down to the second single, I wanted something completely from Fear. I wanted to change scenes and kind of go back to my rock roots. And I wanted this song to just be about having fun. And I wanted it to encapsulate that sense of rolling down your windows when it first turns summer, especially where we live in the Midwest, where it's like suddenly everything's really, really nice and green, and the weather's really nice, and you just want to go pick up your girlfriend, roll down your windows, blare the music, and just sing at the top of your lungs. And so my friend Shelley Fairchild and a couple of her friends in Nashville wrote that song Drive, and they really, really totally captured that summer song feeling and just sort of that fun anthem, the rally your girlfriends and have fun sort of feeling. And I knew that the record to follow that was going to be on was probably going to be a little bit more diverse than just Drive, because my very sense of music loving, like my taste in music is very broad. So when it came to making the record beyond Drive, I wanted it to be as broad as my music taste. And 15 years ago, people used to ask me what kind of record I wanted to make, and I would always say, I want to make a good one. I just want to make a good one. And they would laugh, and they would say, what does that mean? Like, no, what genre do you want it? What genre do you want to sing? What lane do you want to swim in? And I would just be like, man, I hate to be pigeonholed like that. I know that's the name of the game when it comes to labels and a lot of the industry, but at this point, being fearless, it was like, why can't we just make a good record and let each song speak for itself, and for it to be super diverse and to just sort of capture that age group of 5 to 85 that I had now gained from The Voice. So that's what we set out to do, and I'm super proud of the full record.
Okay. So we know you've been pretty busy since your departure from The Voice up until now, right? You're obviously not slowing down anytime soon. So what's next for you?
Oh my God. So we've been touring this summer in support of the record and the single Drive. And we will resume in the fall as well with some shows. But we also have been taking this fearless message and going into schools across the Midwest, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, Wisconsin. And I've been speaking to young adults and children about following their dreams and working hard, and at the same time being kind. And it really took off as this sort of anti-bullying campaign, this anti-bullying outreach program that focused on following your dreams at the same time being nice. And we went into a bunch of rural areas of the Midwest. And so we're going to continue that. So last year we did over 325 presentations in the schools. We visited with over 30,000, nearing 40,000 students last year. So we'll continue that in the fall when school resumes and keep taking that fearless message to our future of young adults. And then I'm in the process of actually writing a children's book, like a very little children's book, like from ages 1 to 5 sort of children's book, stemming from my being a nanny and feeling like I read so many books that I really feel like I can do it and want to do it. And I feel like I have a little message to give the young kids. And at the same time, we're putting together a very special Christmas show as well for the next holiday season, since Christmas is like my favorite time of year. And my favorite type of like music around that time. So those 3 things in itself are like, our table is full, but it's so much fun.
Okay, cool. And last but not least, 3 things that your fans have yet to know about you. Like, for instance, the first one I'm going to ask you, what's your favorite food?
Oh, my favorite food. I'm a crazy for like pork chops and zucchini. That's my favorite meal, all in one sitting, and I could like, eat it every single day.
And your favorite movie of all time?
My favorite movie of all time? Oh man, that's tough, but I love the movie Elf.
Good. And then the third one, I'm just going to leave it up to you. What do you want to share with your cat squad that they don't know yet?
Oh man. God, I feel like they know everything about me at this point because I sort of live my life pretty out loud. But something that's super cool that they don't know. Let's see. I planted a garden this summer for the first time in my life, and I am obsessed. Like, now I just want to like be my own farmer and grow all my own food, and I'm absolutely in love with gardening.
Okay, and when are you coming down to Miami? And maybe next time we talk, we'll do it in person.
I would love that. We were just there a few months ago. Let's see, like April-ish. I had never been to Miami, so it was my first time, and I got to see like South Beach, and we did sort of a school presentation with young kids out there as well. But I will put it on the books as soon as I can, and I would love to do this in person.
It sounds good. Well, thank you very much for your time, Kat. We really appreciate it.